create the super happy tree, I'll need to use some wire to stabilize it. First, I'll be covering the top part of the wire with green clay, and then I'll bend it into shape. Once it's positioned the way I like it, I'll take some eyeshadows to shade it. For the high points, I'll be using yellow, and for the lower points, I'll use a deep green. Now I'm going to pop it in the oven to solidify it and begin working on the base of the tree. For the base of the tree, I'll need a good amount of clay to be sure the weight can support the fruits I'll be attaching later. I took a glob of scrap clay and covered it with vibrant red clay. I'll create it into a cone shape and attach the other part of the tree I created. Now I'll bake it once again. Now we'll need to make the red and green part blend together. I'll attach on some more red clay to help the process of blending. Now I'll mix some red and green clay together to get the in-between color, and I'll be blending it in. Once it's smooth, I'll take some more eyeshadows to shade and make the gradient as seamless as possible. Next, I'll attach some eye pins to all the spots I'll be attaching the fruit. Now I'll be finishing the rest of the tree's ends and shading the curved tips with red eyeshadow. Then I'll bake it all one more time. Now it's time to work on the fruit. The first fruit is the watermelon. I'll cover a ball of aluminum foil with green clay, then I'll create a curly green stem and set it aside. For the apple, I'll cover the aluminum foil with red clay and attach a round yellow star to the top and a yellow circle on the side. Then I'll create the stem, and lastly I'll shade the edges of the yellow parts. To create the grape, I used 2 shades of purple. First, I made a little cone shape for the base and stuck it on a toothpick. This will make it much easier to work with and bake without smushing the round pieces. Working upwards, I'll add on each grape. After that, I'll stick the toothpick into aluminum foil and set it aside to create the stem.
Wow!
Now for the melon. This was the most tedious thing to make out of this entire creation. I had to figure out which method would work best to make it look the most accurate. I decided to go all out and place each individual white line to create the pattern. After that, I rolled the melon in my hands to smooth it just enough and then created the stem. To create the bunch of bananas, I rolled 3 banana shapes and stuck them together. Then I added the stem and attached the brown dots to all the ends. It's kind of funny, but the top part of the stem also looks like a little banana. To create the leaves of the super happy tree, I blended a gradient of shimmery fuchsia, navy blue, and an icy blue colored eyeshadow on my leafy shaped pieces of clay. For the stem of the leaves, I ended up rolling out a navy blue piece of clay later on that I'll cut to size. Last but not least is the magical heart fruit. This time I'll be creating the stem first before I stain my hands with all the vibrant red clay. To make it, I'll be covering some aluminum foil to create a large red heart shape. Now I'll bake all the fruits and leaves. Once everything is baked, I'll begin assembling everything together. I'll add on the eye pins and finish painting on the final details of the watermelon and the heart fruit.
Yoshi!
Now that the super happy tree is complete, the Yoshis will live happily ever after.